Come kiss, 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 kiss. Take a kiss out of this eye. Come kiss, 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 kiss. Take a kiss out of this eye. Come kiss out the Bible. Come up and who was sleep and disciple. The devil have you like a horse in a bridle. Sit up in a your saddle and a ride you. Get the girl, come kiss out.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of 876 Unscripted, where we speak about everything in Jamaican in an unscripted manner. We're talking about entertainment, we're talking about sports, we're talking about politics, whatever is topical, whatever is at the moment, we're speaking about that at 876 Unscripted in an unscripted manner. And you're here with me, Stefan, today, and I also have Javon. Javon, big up the people, them know?
Straight up. Happy Emancipation Day, Jamaica.
Oh, happy
We're here
Emancipation
again with
Day.
unscripted episode.
Yes,
We
Jamaica.
have a lot to unpack here today.
Emancipation Day. This year is what? Jamaica 61. So we want to pick up Jamaica
Not
and all the
independence,
achievements.
Stefan. Emancipation Day, not independence.
Yeah, but they call it Jamaica 61. You know, independence is
It's
Sunday and
it's
Monday coming.
independence period. But
Oh,
it's
independence
today.
period.
Today is emancipation, the freeing of the slaves.
All right, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None can free ourselves but ourselves. I remember what the song about or something like that. All right, guys. So it's been a while since we've been here. We had some things to take care of, but a lot has happened recently, right? There's a lot happening in the public space, in the entertainment world. There's a lot happening in the social world. So we're just going to be giving our 2 cents on it today. So just join the show and welcome. So what we'll start with today, Javon.
As you hear the clip, you know, you have to talk about Sumfest.
Them say we have to talk about Sumfest. So I had the opportunity and the privilege of attending Sumfest. I went both nights, and I can tell you that Sumfest is indeed one of the biggest reggae festivals in the world. You hear me talking and going like I'm going to reggae festival about the place like
Right.
reach Germany or so. But I can tell you, man, of the shows that I've attended out here in Jamaica, Sumfest is by far one of the best organized shows. That is speaking from my experience. I've been going for quite some time, and I really enjoyed this year. This year was a little bit different for me. I don't know if a little niceness I reach me in a life, Javon, you know what I mean? But whenever I go regular this year, you know, I go kind of, an exclusive manner. So I had the best opportunity or the best views. Both nights were controversial. Both nights had high points, mostly for me. There were very few low points. And let me just jump into it. So, you know, you're Javon quiet, guys. Javon really go party, you know. I'm here the party man, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know,
You have balance.
you have to have balance, you know. If you're at church, you only can talk to Javon about church because he made me do breakfast this morning in one church. Big up the church. Which church at again, Javon?
Inner City for Christ Ministries.
Inner City for Christ Ministry. Big up on yourself. You guys are doing a lot of work. You guys are touching a lot of lives. All right. So, Reggae Sumfest 2023, for me, like I said, was very good. From night 1 to night 2. Night 1 for me was the best night. Everybody know me as a dancehall man. I love dancehall with a passion. I love everything about the culture of dancehall people. I love how we dress when we have a dancehall party. I love the food. I love the fact that 5, 6 o'clock in the morning we stop and we get a piece of jerk chicken and we just enjoy ourselves because that is our culture. So for dancehall night, I must say that I am extremely pleased and happy with the performances. And what really impressed me, Javon, was the fact that the young artists them come out and gave a stellar performance. Them work the show like veterans. You see Baker, you see Top Man, but now I'm telling you, like, they surprised me the most. Especially Baker, because, you know, I think he's just like 21 or so. But the boss have a big man voice, the voice rough, you know. So she like it, this is the slightest thing on the darkest reason. May I tell you, man, you see what I say? You know that his performance was one of the most talked about performances because Pretty Boy Fly, but you didn't call Fly Pretty Boy, you know, because we really do them thing there, you know. MC Floyd told him that the police officers had asked him to desist from using expletives. Yes. But what I believe happened was just youthful exuberance and sheer happiness and gladness to
For
be on this,
being on the showcase.
being on the Sumfest stage. And he got a decent time to perform because he came on a little bit early in the morning, not too late, not too early. And you just say, oh, that's a veteran performance hours. So, like I was saying, the young artists, they really came out. Rose Dunn also gave a good performance. It's my first time seeing Rose Dunn performing, and I think he managed himself well. Top man, vocals, clarity. Same thing with Baker. Them work the stage, them interact with the people.
Got some training and some coaching.
Yes, yeah, man. Me feel some man. Me feel them get training and coaching. So I have to big up the young people segment. You know, Stark, Ashley, Maya, and they were good as well. So we'll have to big them up.
Get the promoters to come on and tell us the runnings behind the scenes.
Probably, you know, we should probably see if we can actually get them. But Joe big up himself for that. So I was discussing with my friends and I was telling them my top 5 performances for Friday night, right? Because like I said, I went from start to finish, and my top 5 performances will have to big up the man from St. Mary where I cut all losses, right? I don't really believe in the Duns thing. I believe in say you must actually take your book.
Yeah.
But Mr. Duns, I'm not telling a lie, it was a phenomenal performance by Valiant. Like I said, I could not believe it. It's the first in a long while somebody made me get up out of one comfortable seat. Cause I boot me, you know, people. I'm telling the thing nice this year, you know. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man, Sky View. Just like Chris Brown. When Chris Brown come in the Skybox, 1.5 million. I joke make people. But if the sponsor them want to run in something, we can run in something. You know what I'm saying? But Valiant really did a great performance. You felt it. You could tell that for the most part, he was just happy to be able to showcase his talent and his skill to the world. Mm-hmm. And he was doing what he loved. And you felt it throughout his entire set, right? So, for me, Valiant would have been the best performer for the night. Second, the man that everybody was waiting for, Mr. Leroy Russell, Mobay native, flanker Glenn Devon, the whole place, Tommy Lee. To me, Tommy Lee got the biggest reception when he walked out. Because as you know, he was away for a little while. And it seemed as if,
circumstances beyond his control.
Circumstances beyond his control, yes. But for me, the best part of his performance was the fact that he bigged up the correctional officers. He bigged up the, what do you call it now?
Criminal justice system.
The criminal justice system, and the fact that he was able to come out better, right? Because he spoke about battling with addictions, drug addictions, and all sorts of addictions, and he was able to break those during his time away, right? So it was a great performance. It's his first time performing in a couple years. The songs connected with the people. Everybody Basa Blanca, boo! The whole away up there enjoying herself. So it was really a great performance. But what made it noteworthy for me was the fact that he was able to take something negative and find the positive in it. And you can see that he even looks happier now than he did 3-4 years before. You understand? Because the man said, people man just come from overside of me look. And you can tell that, I think it would have done him the better. So his performance was second for me. Third, Genocide Massacre. Great performance, great song selection. People are getting me telling this, Javon quiet, because Javon really did something, But Massacre had the crowd in a frenzy. Excellent stage work, excellent interaction, control in the crowd. Fourth for me would actually have been TJ. TJ is a performer, big entertainer. The vocals, the voice, just how he moves into his songs, how he articulates his thoughts to the crowd. I would say that he's an excellent stage show worker. And fifth, we're not going to be surprised. Fifth is a newcomer. I don't know if it's because of the foolishness and like the excitement in our life, but I would give Baker the spot number 5. I really enjoyed his performance. Like I said, as a young performer, he was able to come out and do well, work the stage, and then, he have to deal with the law officers afterwards. The people them say, don't cause somebody up on them stage, don't cause somebody up on them stage. And we have some noteworthy performances that people must get big up as well. We'll have to big up Javilani. You know, Sunday to Sunday, and she called with 10:30, so she want a piece of Kentucky. We also have to big up Ja Vinci. I was very surprised with the reception that Ja Vinci got from the crowd, Javon.
But you have to remember that Ja Vinci has a very good and deep catalog of music, you know.
To be honest, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling a lie. Because remember when we were in high school, Ja Vinci was a part of
Yeah,
Portmore Empire.
very deep catalog of
So the catalog, and then his voice, the vocals, he sounded just like how him sound on a record. Because a lot of these artists nowadays, you know, where you hear, when you listen SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, that's not what you hear on the stage. You get me? So he was well received, and I was surprised that I was singing the songs because it's like it activate on part of my brain when lock away. I mean, I say, wait, I walk one them, should I remember, say, you know, and all of that. So yeah, Javilani, and of course, the man that dwell in the dark room himself, Mr. Shano, big artist, underrated artist, bad piece of artist. The man can perform. Film voice is a voice as well. We sound the same like when you listen on your headphone or you listen on your phones. So that would have been it for me. And of course, you know.
So Dance All Night at Sumfest.
Dance All Night at Sumfest was great for me. Night 2, big man night, big people night. You know, the night for your mother and your father. But like I said, I was fortunate to have been able to go both nights. I went.
Every time I feel that kind of night.
That kind of night, you know. Earth a run red. Na. These are some serious times. You know, or there's a big ship, or I don't know. I don't know the song name.
Sailing in the ocean.
Yeah. Right, so it was well organized. That sound like your kind of night for real, Javon. You understand what I say? Admiral Bailey, Leroy Givens, Lieutenant Stitchy, those persons opened up the night with a tribute to King Jammy. It was really good. Richie Spice came and performed. Richie Spice are the only man I know stand up 3 spot on the stage and rock the crowd. You get what I say? In the need for move up and down. You see what I say? Romain Virgo also had a wonderful set. Very vibrant, deep, soulful set. So the whole of the girl him up. I don't know if it's because of the pink suit him wear. But as Romain touched the stage,
Barbie.
all of the woman them up. You see what I say? And you know him start to look at dancing and the man them and say, alright, this is enough for a segment, the woman them segment. So that was good. But the most touching part of the night was actually Freddie McGregor. As you all know, Freddie would have suffered a stroke recently.
Yeah.
And he was able to deliver a wonderful, heartfelt, emotional set. Right? Voice is still strong, and you can tell that he has the mind and the will of a lion, or not even a lion, of a silverback gorilla. Right? He sat down and he was able to deliver. And what made it even more, how should I put this, wonderful, was that he was able to perform with his children. We'll have to big up Chino, we'll have to big up Stephen for the care and the attention that they have given their father since this whole thing with him. And what it shows is that Freddie was indeed a good man to them. So that is why they're able to extend themselves to their father without it. It didn't seem like a burden, right? And they were happy to be there, happy to help him. Diani and Jada Kingdom. Now, I'm going to be a little controversial. I don't think them fit night 2. Or something where
that's a very strange matchup. I'm not going to lie to you. I would expect them to be in night 1.
Yeah, man. Is what I say? I not expect them to be in night 2. I enjoy how Jada look. Yeah, man. Jada,
you want all the African giants and the Jamaican men out there.
Yeah, man.
We all enjoy.
Jada, give me a link, man. Sir Johnson, the Lord. Me there on Instagram.
No, man. You have a fight with homeboy there, you know.
Who, Burna Boy?
Yeah, man. You have to beat up Burna Boy.
Burna can't fight, man.
Yeah, you see him can't fight?
Can't fight, man. I just probably in bodyguard them.
Yeah, man.
In bodyguard them, but me have it locked, man. I St. Thomas I come from, you know. You understand what I'm saying? Jamaica I come from, you know.
Alright.
So Jada made a message you a couple years ago on Instagram, you know, about a cake date. Let me know. You see me? But the performances were good, but I think their catalog more suits a dance all night. You get me? Kabaka Pyramid, energetic performance. He's one of the new Grammy kids, and he really cement himself in my books in terms of his performance at Sumfest, right? And last but not least, the person where everybody wait for. She was once known as the Queen of Dancehall. Is what I say? International Queen of the stage. Yo, run the clip there from her, because I tell you, man, Minister Marian Hall is a performer, man. She don't lose a beat all now. She bad same. Just the entrance alone make me know such a have it. Cause I say, wait, how she gonna come on the stage?
Come kiss. Take a piece out of this. Aye. Come kiss. Take a piece out of this. Aye. Come kiss out the Bible. Come up and who was sleep and disciple. The devil of your life.
Minister Marian Hall, what she said, come kiss out the Bible. Minister Marian Hall, the Bible is some person underneath the Bible. But that performance was a great. Just the entrance on the stage, everybody anticipate. When me I go do when me step in the place, maybe I come over here with some souls for save. I say, Bounty Killer. She really had it, man. It was a great performance. Oh, I don't know how I skipped this person. This person is a poet, right? Why would I do that? Tanya Stevens.
Oh yes.
Tanya had a fantastic set.
Oh yes.
Me never know there's so much Tanya song me know. Because the two songs that will readily come to my mind is These Streets Don't Love You Like I Do. You need to know that. And the one who say, it's a pity, but me I can remix it. You already have a husband, and me already have a wife. You know, me I remix it as a man and all of that. But persons were singing along, moving and grooving to Tanya. Excellent stage performance, excellent craft, excellent workmanship. She was really great. So back to Lady Saw. Lady Saw was fantastic. I didn't know what to expect given that she was coming on as a gospel artist, but I think she really delivered. I don't know, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if the songs were improvised or if they are recorded songs already, but it felt like
Performance was up there.
the performance was up there. That's all I can say. The performance is all up there. I'm more on my Bible. So ladies saw check in and link up. Sir Johnson and Lord at Instagram. But that's it from my recap of Sumfest. I think both nights were wonderful. The crowd was good. I think it was organized well in terms of entry, leaving, parking was great. Well, at least for me, I can only speak about my experience. It wasn't hard.
I need to get a skybox next year for myself.
Yeah, man, definitely.
And the family, you know?
And the family, yeah, but I feel like the family I go on night 2. I think I'm going to dance all night.
The friends can come on night 1 and the family can come on night 2.
Yeah. But all in all, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10, you know. And I'm looking forward to the Chris Brown concert as well. Chris Brown, link up.
1.5 skybox.
1.5 skybox, man. I don't know that, man. I want to you, man. Work where I work, you know.
Sponsors can deliver, man.
Sponsors can deliver. So that is it for me as it relates in the world of entertainment right now. When you know said a little thing come out, Jada said she never knows a burner put her in a song and all of them something like that, but we're not gonna really talk about that. So that is it from me. Sumfest recap. Anything you want to talk about, Javon? Where we are going now? Because I know say you're a man, you deal with the heavy stuff, you know.
Yeah, man, we're gonna dive in a little bit of the politics now. Politics segment, this one.
Politics segment. All right.
So apparently this week that just went by, the opposition leader stepped in it and made some remarks on the campaign trail. You know, it's always the campaign trail. But let's have a
it's silly season.
Called Golding's reckless. Here's Javine McLean.
We have to make sure that every comrade who voted for the People's National Party in 2011 and delivered the victory, if they're still alive, they have to go vote for Comrade Patrick Peter King when the election call. And even some who are not alive, you know, if them can deal with it, no problem.
This was the...
And by deal with it, we with the opposition leaders are alluding to voter fraud, by allowing dead persons who are still on the voters list to actually being able to vote. I must add that the opposition has stated that this was a joke, and he has apologized for the remarks. I'm adding that there out of courtesy. Thanks to the clip courtesy of CBM TV. But that's really what was that about. And I'm like, it's detrimental to our democracy to have an opposition leader who is making such a joke, given our history of political violence and instability as it relates to elections and the democratic process. It shouldn't be something they joke about in this manner, allowing, because we there have been many instances of voter fraud in this same exact case in the past. We have evidence from the DOJ that you have 200 and something persons on the voter list, and we're getting 260 persons voting in an election. So it's not something that we are to be joking about, and it's sad that it got here and took public pressure for him to retract and to apologize for the remarks. But I guess it's just part and parcel of some of the things that we've been hearing, especially as we get closer and closer to a general election. So I'm a little bit disappointed. We hope he does better going forward. That's my take, though.
I will agree that it was unfortunate. And the onset, I could tell that it was in jest. But like you said, certain things we're not supposed to joke about, But he did the right thing. He apologized. Even though it was under pressure, we can say that he actually apologized. It's the election season. It's silly season. So you know that persons are going to be coming out and saying a lot of stuff on the political platform to rile up their bases as they seek to go across the ballot in the next election, But what I would want is that for our political leaders to conduct themselves with some decorum and some class, because as you have said, we have come a far way. Because remember, the election in the 70s and election in the 80s, lives were lost, persons were detained, people were injured. I have a friend, his father got shot in the 80s election, right, on the campaign trail. So we don't want to regress. We don't want to go back. We want to move forward with a fair democratic election where persons go out and vote for whomever that they believe is the right person. So I agree with you. It was unfortunate, but he apologized, albeit under pressure, but he apologized, and we have to accept the apology and say, all right, he did the right thing and moved on. But I would urge both parties, because we're a two-party system, just to be careful and not to engage in such things. Not only that, we don't want to engage in any personalized attacks. We don't want to bring up things that may stir any negative thing, because the General Secretary for the PMP the other day made some claims about Minister Darrell Vaz, James Robertson, as it relates, I think it was Neil Lawrence or something like that.
Yes.
As it relates to threats made on the life of the then opposition leader, who is now the Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness, And what is even more concerning is that the fact that this was a hoax, or this was proven to be a hoax, and the person was actually arrested and imprisoned, right? They got, I think, almost 3 years. I think the article said that the person got 30 months in prison. So to come on the political platform and to say that, I don't know. So I know it's going to be a lawsuit. Mr. Vaz has indicated that he will be seeking the advice of his lawyers. So we're going to look out for this. I don't want to comment on it too much because, it is going before the court soon. But I would just urge both parties to conduct themselves in
But for context, I'm going to hear let the viewers hear what exactly was said by Dathan Campbell on the campaign trail.
Watch him in the parliament say that. And him say I give instruction for them go over there, go bulldoze and lick down the people them house. And then go over there and lick down the people them house. And the Prime Minister with him, no shame, no ethics. He may love you. And I live now to come and see Mark Golding move legislation for Baker. You look at Babylon boy when they want to tell me that we can't make the
This is the
money
kind of
off
rhetoric
it,
that we
but
hear
you're
in the
going to take
campaign
your
trail
own
now.
colleague.
From the opposition.
Was
Very
listening
angry,
to what was
very
going on in the parliament.
personal.
Chaka chaka is when you carry each other. Do the everybody hate. And you go.
Right, so guys, Javon is just looking for that particular clip that was mentioned
7
earlier.
years since.
I'm looking for the clip, but it doesn't seem they have it on here. I guess because it's a pending lawsuit, people have been taking it down.
Yeah, cause I didn't get an official clip. It was just a recording, but you could tell that it was the voice, and I believe that it's time for us. We did move away from it, and we don't want to go back, So I don't know what's going to happen. If the PNP General Secretary is actually going to recant or strike that off the record and issue a formal apology, given that we know that it was indeed a hoax and the person was already penalized for that, but there's a lot that is happening in the public domain as it relates to our elected officials and their behavior. It is unbecoming, from
Very
both
unbecoming.
sides.
Yeah, man.
From both sides, to be honest, because Minister Warmington sometimes as well. So we're just going to urge them to go ahead and just think about what they're saying, because they're the leaders of the country. International eyes are watching. So how they portray themselves is how Jamaica is actually going to be viewed, right? So we don't want a negative views, and we know that it may be political sparring to them, and afterwards they might end up going to somewhere and having a drink and they laugh it off. But we don't want the young impressionable minds to fall susceptible to this and move it beyond a level where it is just political sparring. You get what I'm saying, Javon? Right? So
Yeah, man. I understand and agree, because in many other cases, the behavior is going to be looked at and emulated by persons who look at these because remember, at the end of the day, the professionals, they have lives and businesses outside of politics, and because of that, persons will look up to them and be looking to emulate their successes in their personal and professional lives because of their recognition in political atmosphere, and they need to set a better example both on and on the platform, because I know that they might be under some influence on the platform, whether it be a little alcohol or something of other nature. Just remember that there are persons who are looking on to you as positive examples to emulate.
Right, and this is the behavior that has young persons shine away, because they're saying that this is not changing, because this is what we heard the older generation doing. I believe that young people, we want a different type of politics. We want a politics where persons argue on policies, persons argue on achievements, and persons they argue on solutions and a new way forward and what we can do and what we can achieve. That is what we're looking for. We're not looking for vibes and niceness like back in the day, right? How is it that you, whether JLP or PMP, are going to better my life, right? How are you going to ensure that there is a situation created or an environment created, or I live in a country where the environment is as such that it allows for me to thrive in both my personal and my work endeavors, right? What sort of jobs are we going to be created in the next 5 years? How strong will our dollar be? So if our dollar is strong, you know that our spending power is strong. What kind of economy, which really ties into the dollar? What kind of crime initiatives are you putting in place so that I can actually be safe, right? So these are the things that we are actually looking forward to hearing from both the JLP and the PMP as it relates to me as a young person and what I want to see. I don't care about what somebody is doing. I don't care about the personal attack. Don't come and tell me about this person. Don't come tell me about that person. Come and show me in black and white what you have planned for the country and how that is actually going to benefit me so that I can know what I'm going to do on the day of election. And both parties need to conduct themselves in that manner, right? So that is it for me. And as you can see as well, when you conduct yourself in a particular manner, there's also fallouts, because what it does, it breaks the trust that you have with the public, because the apologies that have been issued in the past, this person just apologizing. Most recently, we can see where a prominent attorney at law would have made some disparaging remarks on a popular YouTube channel, and it would have cost him in terms of his stature in his political party, and it would have cost him in terms of earning power, as he would have been relieved or released from one of his jobs.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So we have to think about what we're seeing in the public domain. We all have our personal feelings, but freedom of speech is not free, right? And the higher up you go, you know that things can happen. So that is really it for me. I'm just urging both persons again, or both political parties who are competing in the next election, just to be mindful of your decorum. As young persons, we are already turned off from voting. Because we don't really go vote, you have the stats on that, Javon. Lowest voter turnout. Although we can argue and say COVID was a part of it.
We'll have other elections, so we'll see.
We'll have other elections.
But shifting gears though, same political space, but shifting gears to the whole DPP tenure extension issue and everything that has surrounded it. I feel like we've been getting lots of spin on what's going on and misinformation on quite a bit of that. So some information about it, the government made a proposal in Parliament to amend the Constitution via passing a legislation that aligns DPP's DPP and Auditor General's retirement age with the current public sector and national retirement age, which is 65.
Right.
As a result of that, the opposition had stated that the government is pushing through the legislation without much consultation. That's currently the argument. So they're making two arguments: that one, there isn't any or not enough consultation on the legislation on a proposed amendment, as well as this might bias the DPP in favor of the government moving forward. So that's what the main issue is here, being considered here. But around this issue, there are quite a number of related things that are happening as it relates to politics. So one of them, as you know, is as you mentioned, the attorney at law, Mr. Buchanan, went on a YouTube show and made some very disrespectful remarks about the DPP as a result of I don't know how that connects to each other, or that connects to what the government is doing, but he went on and made some very disrespectful remarks, in my opinion, of the DPP. And I'm like, what's the need of to be that mean-spirited, that disrespectful to somebody who's done nothing but her public service? So there's that bit as well. On top of that, we have civil society kind of moving in lockstep with what the opposition is saying. I'm not sure as to why, because if it is that this issue as to how they are amending the legislation is completely legal, what is the issue being debated here, right? I have yet to hear a coherent argument as to why they're opposing this issue, but that's currently where the opposition and the persons who are opposing it as well are saying.
Maybe because she has been serving for some time, so they want fresh blood in it. As you would have said earlier as well, the lack of consultation. Why are we doing this, right? So you done mentioned that the national retirement age is 65. So I would suspect that that is a part of the reason they're moving it. However, persons are also taking an issue with the fact that there's an extension that may go up to 70. You get what I'm saying? And I do believe that the main issue is the lack of consultation and how rushed it feels, right? So I do believe that as a government, the government needs to come out and explain why they're doing a particular thing and highlight the benefits of doing this. So as a Learned Counsel came out and said, Peter Champagne, KC, he would have said that in doing this, we're keeping in line with what happens in other jurisdictions, right? So the government would have had some issues in the past before with lack of communication. You understand? The compensation review, the traffic tickets, and their salary, which falls under the
salary
compensation
increases.
review. So there may be argument for it, but why are you doing this? Package it a little better. You get what I'm saying? So persons can feel comfortable, because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. You get me? And people are saying, if you can just go in and change the law just like that, what does that mean? So I just believe that it just needs to be a more consultative process.
So I believe that is blundered in terms of the communication.
Communication, right? Some lawyers are saying that it is illegal, it is unconstitutional. I don't know. I'm not a legal mind, so I am just sitting
Maybe
and
we
watching.
need to get your sister on the program and to explain this.
Yeah, well, we could get KC, because it's KC, you know, and a KC Alena Reed.
Oh yeah, sis. She get KC, you know?
No, she not KC, you know, but you said to the girl, bright man.
Yes, it's on the way.
It's on the way. I believe that she will be
Alright.
one of the youngest KCs ever. Big up my little sister anyway, you're there right now. I don't
Yeah,
know
man.
which part it is still, but
Yeah,
we're
man.
not
We
gonna
need to
really
call her on the program and make sure explain this thing to us, man. Because, you know, neither of us are legal minds.
right? But they would have taken the government to court already as it relates to the first extension
Yeah,
for
the
the DPP, and the
the
courts
rule
ruled
that it was legal.
So let us see what's going
But
to
why
happen.
would they? But why would they challenge that though?
Because I said that the extension was put in place something about her birthday. So I think it happened after her birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't want to comment on it and get sued because I really don't know. But they would have won, and I would have hoped that if you're amending something from the Constitution, it was done in a legal way. You get what I'm saying?
I'm inclined to agree with that. Because what
And then
I'm
there
getting, you know,
too
much at stake.
No man, too much mistakes as it relates to certain things, because the SOEs were found to be unconstitutional. Right now, the government may have to pay back some money from some traffic fines.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful when you're actually touching these things. That is just my 2 cents on it.
I'd like to understand where the Attorney General on some of these issues, on some of these positions. You know, because if it is that we're running afoul of the Constitution and laws, then that means somebody's not doing their work.
Right. So I just want to know who is advising the government. Right, because I don't think that the government would intentionally set out to break the rules of the land, because they're in place to ensure that the rules of the land are followed, isn't it?
And if it is a case where a law is no longer fit for purpose, just change it.
You understand?
Right.
But while changing it, explain.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say right now, you know, there's a constitutional reform committee that was formed, because we're going to be a part of the republic. We're going to be a republic, not a part. We're going to become a republic. What I believe should have happened that could have been broached because they're currently going around from community to community. Just explain to the people. Or keep a
My
press conference.
assumption of that is that the Constitutional Reform Committee would not have moved with the alacrity as they would have needed for this amendment to be changed. Because I gather from my readings that one of the issue that I read is that the tenure, the extension is actually about to be up.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed to get that rectified as soon as possible. So that's why they moved outside of the reform committee to get it done that way. And the constitution actually allows for them to amend it this way. So I don't the only valid argument I do understand is that they would have wanted more consultation. Everything else is actually done above board. So there's that bit. But that should be it for us on the politics. No more politics for today.
Yeah, no more politics for today,
They got the Reggae Girlz.
Reggae Girlz and the volleyball team as well. The
volleyball team.
Yeah, the volleyball team, a champion Jamaica female volleyball team.
Yes.
One of the players actually is a co-worker of mine, a team member of mine. Big up Erica, cause Erica did go away. I say, yeah, Erica. I not even know say Erica play volleyball. I see her picture. I say, wait, no Erica that. And I think they would have. won their recent competition that they would have been in. Let me. So I know that they were competing. Someone told me that they won, because they're planning to keep a a celebration party for Erica. But Erica should be back after this episode airs or so. So let us do that. Reggae Girlz blank Panama, draw with France, I believe. So them actually are going good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
No, yeah, man. I got the scores here pull up, I don't know how me make you distract me so much or make me all hear the scores. They beat Panama 1-0, they draw with France after a red card. So they're a player down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a serious disadvantage because they possibly could have won that game. So that's all they have to consider. But it's something I've known for a while. Not just the women, but the men's perspective. Jamaica is one of the better teams of CONCACAF. We are realistically the third best team qualifying for every single World Cup every 4 years for both the men's and women's. One of the best teams on the women's side in the world. Third best team in CONCACAF easily. And our football teams should be doing more on the world stage. Jamaica is a good brand. Adding football to it is just a natural fit.
Definitely. I believe that we should try to capitalize on our sporting brand. Right? Mm-hmm. Because anywhere you go in the world, you see people wearing Jamaican shirts, people can't talk English, people don't know nothing about patois, but they love us.
And not even just that, that's even going outside. You know that there are more Jamaicans living abroad than Jamaicans who live here.
Yeah, the diaspora are big,
Big.
We're everywhere,
Everywhere.
We're everywhere. The diaspora are huge.
Everywhere.
We're everywhere. So the government and the private sector needs to come together.
Take advantage of that, man. Make a little money and fight.
Needs to come together. Before we reach the money thing, making the money, I think they need to come together, devise a plan of action in terms of sponsorship to ensure that our athletes are well taken care of. Our athletes should not be competing on an international level and having to go to work regular jobs.
Agreed.
They shouldn't be worrying about nutrition and stuff like that. This is a job. If the netball team, for example, can do so well, and most of them have other jobs, imagine if it was that they were focusing on the netball profession solely, right? Or footballers as well, the local footballers. Most of them play football and have jobs elsewhere as well. Imagine if they were solely focused on football.
They could do significantly more.
You understand what I'm saying? I think we're good in the athletics department because I don't know of any. Well, we're good in the track department, but the field events, they lack.
Need some work.
Yes, they
Need
lack
some more
support greatly, right?
But my thing is, I agree with you in terms of the governmental support, but the truth is, government can't support all athletes, all sports across the board. Somewhere, somehow, some are gonna fall off.
I think they could not support the athletes directly what they do. I think they could support the governing body for that sport. So like you have JFF for the football, you have the athletics people them, you have the volleyball people them. Once it is that you have a particular number of persons, I think that's why I said the government and private sector.
I think it come, but the thing is, I think they support not, but I don't know from private sector, but from government, the support actually exists in terms of the government giving funding to the sporting federations for the various sports.
Yeah.
What I think is the thing that draws it down now is mismanagement of some of the funds. That's one part, but not a major part. I think it comes down to deciding who gets and how much do they get, because you know that there's going to be a set amount of money set aside to give to the sporting federations. And I know for sure JFF get the most out of any sporting federation.
Yeah.
The most money. So the excuses from them, me nah listen to that. Can't accept that. But besides them, your other small federations, and I think they should get more support based on their performance, their world rankings and stuff along that line.
Yeah, they need for lacrosse go and do good.
Man, definitely.
And lacrosse
there
is
needs
fairly
to be
new.
some kind of criteria put in place to say, you know what? If it is that you want this funding, you need to meet these metrics in order for you to get this funding from government. Maybe then we get some results from JFF.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, but that's my take on it. But I think this funding exists, man.
Probably. Well, that is it. What else there for this week, Javon?
I think I'll get that enough. I think we all talked out, man. People are supposed to tired away at this point in time.
All right, people. So that is really it. From us here at 876 Unscripted, Reggae Sumfest was a success. The artists did well in terms of performance on the stage. The organizers did well as well. Politically, we're urging both major parties, the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, to
come together, join hands,
you know. Have a little decorum and tact when engaging the public, and not just engaging the public, but when engaging each other,
society,
because we're looking on them as examples, right? Sporting, we're doing well, especially with the female teams. We have to big them up right now. We want the men to come back, even though the man them to go on good what they are still, you know. The Jamaica football team, and I believe that we should qualify for the next World Cup, because USA, Mexico, and Canada already qualify.
Man, them bug to.
So we need to qualify, because more me and Javon go. Mexico, me I prefer go still do it, you know.
Yes, sir. Mexico, you know, I got a cold place.
No, I don't want to go America and Canada. Mexico.
It makes sense, but I'm also much of my day US too. We most can't get that much.
Most can't get a one match.
Most can't get a one match. One in Miami can go out.
Yeah.
What are they in Miami, you know? Are they Hard Rock Stadium, you know?
Yeah.
Most can't get any match while go on there, so.
A one match. We don't want to watch Jamaica play still.
No, them not put Jamaica match at Miami.
Where am I put it?
Them man say too much Jamaica in Miami already.
So where am I put it?
I put it at Ohio.
Dave Chappelle place. Cincinnati.
Yes, man.
But that is it from us, guys. So until next week, we will be seeing you. Big up on yourself. I am Stefan from 876 Unscripted, where we talk about things in an unscripted manner.
Alright, this is Javon going out. We out, people. Next time.